light and kindness, the world around us, the rocks that live and the earth that is a living, breathing creature. All of this is the corporeal mother, gentle, kind, light, mortal and bouncy, like shimmering bugs. Its arc like a gravity's rainbow. But if the arc is set and its course determined, how can there be room for freedom? Is there truly no escape? The response to death is appearing into one's own life, to return to the innocent dances and sparks of attractions of the past. This is ego death. The albatross, plucked away, encourages the rhyme of the ancient mariner. The albatross is a symbol of guilt and the burden of man's violence. Like the slivers of a rocket's shrapnel are the infinite pieces when taking an integral. Every feather plucked from the albatross, another death of himself. The birth of the reader calls for the death of the author. A drop of sperm turns into a mandrake root. Gravity's rainbow is driven down out of pubic clouds. The dog drops dead before he's halfway to breakfast. His holy light freezes and fades in the million dewdrops. The magician obtains the mandrake. Chapter 2. The arc is seeing its return, and here the question of catching the war variates. Peace allows her to leave him. She held on to him when she needed him, but tossed him away when she could stand on her own. She needed someone to support her, not somebody to love. She's cold when she feels at ease.
A Toblerone! I love chocolate! You're welcome. Thanks, Eddie. This is the big... Oh, look at us sitting in front of a big tree. I'm gonna close my eyes because I'm excited. I'm actually really excited about this. Because you love Hoffman. I love Tootsie. Yeah. I love Hoffman, second greatest actor of all time. This is the best. Yeah. We're hugging now.
She may know a little, may think of herself, face and body, as pretty, but he could never tell her all the rest. How many other living things, birds, night smelling of grass, and rain, sunlight moments of simple, also gather in what she is to him. This is a special moment. A moment where an author doesn't simply perfectly capture how I feel on paper, but perfectly captures how I feel towards you. To lose you would be losing a full range of life, of being for the first time at ease in the creation. My eyes would be like red carnations. Every step I would take would result in the jolt of pain through half my skull. None of this makes sense in an existential way. The room seems to be more of a distance, as through the viewfinder of a camera. It's like we're watching a film, and the characters in Brechtian's self-reflexivity are aware of this. It torments them, keeps them in a showy corner, imbues them with the level of cartoon performativity. Chase scenes. Think of Taj Mahal. the Statue of Liberty and think of chase scenes. Think of action movies. History is a play. They can't be sincere knowing they're being watched. Perhaps we are the they, we in war. They look alike. There is no they without a subject observing the we-they paradigm. The camera watches the actors and the actors watch the camera. It's about the establishment of systems not necessarily reflective of reality. What matters is a structure with nodes that connect. But of what? We're only superstructures with no meta-narrative. Chapter 3. In reality, bulbs unbrighten before the next peak shows up, but we can't always see reality. The illusion of light is mimetic of cinema's illusion of movement. It is as if movement, light, progress, all of this is an illusion. Infinite individual slivers are connected by an almost divine force to appear continuous. But why do the colors change? Is there a reason? What if the unreason of the wars isn't specific to humanity in and of itself, but reflective of nature on a whole? A postmodern sunset. God is who knows their numbers, who knows the sum of sense data. The state of grace is an even distribution. The shears, the act of equalizing, the combs which restore hair to their default state, a world before the Pynchon distribution. He pulls the levers, deciding where the tracks go. It's like the trolley problem. He saves some lives at the cost of others. Happiness or pain is in his pull. The war kills those who are not complacent, who stand up, who do not have faith in their sergeants. It's a system of control, of maintaining the dominant ideology. The outsiders are still being killed off. Wish for them. We are in Happyville. The bulb is an old soul trapped in a baby bulb. Is the light in the bulb sentient, or is the bulb itself conscious? Is consciousness created at the intersection of technology and nature, bulb and light? After love is silence. Light is the basic mortal hope. What is hope without mortality? He is bulb snatched, going around Europe until a priest, the Magi, informed by routine dreams of his immortality, picks him up. The prophet. Yet he is powerless to change anything. The grid is too strong. His anger and frustration will grow without limits. Chapter 4. Sunlight, cold gold, and slick as glass. The fresh wind is in the trees. Love is leaving oneself open and vulnerable. Can she be as honest as he is without risking too much? No. He has no human heart left in which he exists. He has no one to love, and thus no one to be. While Europe died meanly in its own waste, men love. Without that love, what's there but death? Or perhaps worse, elevation. Transcendence is where we find solitude, but an elevation is loneliness. To love is to give a part of yourself away and replace that part with another. The deeper the love, the larger the peace. It's the albatross. He has been with so many. He has given his parts away so readily, and now the albatross on his neck is made up of different feathers from different partners. In every act of surrenderance, his own self becomes untethered. He is unsure who he is because he's spread all over Europe. He loses himself every time he is with another, and now he has to face those consequences, either by distancing himself in irony or embracing his non-self in sincerity. Full humanity, complete vulnerability. She can't move into his blackness, understand it isn't his blackness but her own. Something beyond even the center of Pan's groove, something not pastoral at all, but of the city. The darkness is the journey. All kindness back in the blue light. the long sea, furrows of its ripples, a textured darkness in which flows go in all directions, and nothing begins and nothing ends. The ship, the journey, her guilt, all this harkens back to the rhyme of the ancient mariner. Chapter 5. The lightning boat, captain out on sea, the mariner. In that strike, the illusion of continuity is fractured, and see the world as it really is. Is this the vision the Mason saw? Benjamin Franklin? Here the storymen will either transcend or be elevated. Those who are paranoid only need lightning to see clearly, to confirm their paranoia, and to elevate into transcendence. The eternal boat births the eternal bulb. He is paranoid. With 1,999 others, he moves around the zone. Herein lies the loser. He will love or win at love. He is the fate for most. Dualities are made uncertain. Two faces become one. Technology and nature are the same. The metal has given way to flesh. What's the difference between life and death? The game and its own end. Mortal faces around him go by but never see him. How can they be anything but attractive sculptures, the sunlit faces of clouds? How can he love them? Is he the loser, or did he never get a chance to play? There's something special about the rocket that's different for everyone. There are kernels of importance not in a Platonic ideal, but a fragmented multi-dimension where everything is different to different people but carry the same weight. Chapter 6. The reverse Oedipo. Father kills, or tries at least to kill, son. It's a giant factory state here. A city of the future full of extrapolated 1930s roof-facaded and balconied skyscrapers, clean chrome carotides with bob hairdos, classy airships of all descriptions drifting in the blue and hush of the city abyss, the Golden Gate Bridge, chase scenes. This is a movie. Banana is a multifaceted metaphor. It harkens to the male genitalia, but also to King Kong, and to the colonial world, and to the primitive state of man as monkey in contrast to the technological state of man as a rocket. Is paranoia a product of solipsism? Their struggle is not the only, or even the ultimate one. We should have to be incredulous to meta-narratives. There are many other struggles, as well as spectators. Sometimes things aren't very clear, that's all. Things look like they're going against us, and though it always turns out fine at the end, and we can always look back and say, oh, of course it had to be that way, otherwise so-and-so wouldn't have happened. Still, while it's happening, in my heart, I keep getting this terrible fear. Yes, it's a movie. Sound, the lyre, the sonorous ether, the silent medium. Sound cannot travel through the pages, through outer space. Whoa, but suppose it can. What if there is a secret here in these pages, and somehow, if we could strum the pages like a lyre? The Kenosha Kid, he's back. He deconstructs the filmic image. How can there be one reality that is filmed? Infinite positions to put a camera in, infinite meanings, all contained in the same set of words. Everything is contextual. How can I talk about this novel to you? How can I film? How do you even understand? Who speaks? You never did the Kenosha Kid. You never did the Kenosha Kid. You never did the Kenosha